Okay, so this is my mini course on exactly how I created that reel that you just saw at the beginning of this little mini course. My goal with this is to kind of demystify a lot of the steps it takes to create a reel that's seen as like a high caliber reel, with the captions, with high quality footage, all sorts of things, how to edit, how to post, everything, right? So I'm just gonna quickly walk through the sort of scripting for that video. So if you look at how the most popular reels out there do, especially in the education realm, it's very actionable, it's very simplistic, and it's a lot of numbers. People like numbers. So if you're starting out with content creation and you're a bit unsure of what sort of content to create, doing number-based reels is a really good way to go. So what I mean by number-based is top 3 this, 3 reasons why you're not blank, 5 best blank, the 3 best soccer players and whatever, the 3 best water polo players, whatever. Like, people like those numbers, right? So that's my logic with why I went with the 3 ankle exercises to prevent sprains to bulletproof your ankles, right? So all I had to think of was 3 of those exercises. So in this case, I thought of tib raises, I thought of KOT calf raises because it'll hit the soleus closer to the ankle, and then I thought of ankle circles just to work in some more range in the outer areas of the ankle. So with each of those, I didn't want to over provide too much information where you're diving into what the tibialis is, why it's called the tibialis, it decelerates the foot, all these things. I wanted to keep it simple, I wanted to keep it actionable. So I took those 3 exercises, or those 3 movements, and just gave them like 1 or 2 attributes each. So I said, wall tib raises, make sure to get a full contraction at the top. Done. It's actionable. Someone sees that clip, they can think, okay, I have a wall, this is to bulletproof my ankles, I want bulletproof ankles, I'm gonna do this thing. Same with the KOT calf raise. I show them how to do it, right? You just lean up against the wall, you bend your knees, you do the calf raise, and then I simply say, it directly emphasizes the soleus, which is helping you bulletproof your ankle, and then I say you can progress it by going on one leg. It's simple, it's actionable, and the progression lets people know how to progress. Same thing with the wall tib raise. I said to progress it, get closer to the wall. It's actionable. Lastly, with the ankle circle, I just said a dynamic ankle movement. The ankle circle, make sure to go both clockwise and counterclockwise in as big as circles as you can that are pain-free. It's simple, it's actionable. Then what I did on top of that was an intro and an outro, or you can see that as a hook and a call to action, or CTA. So my hook was something along the lines of 3 exercises to bulletproof your ankles and prevent sprains, or prevent sprains and bulletproof your ankles. It's concise, it tells the viewer exactly what they're about to watch, and it's done. And on top of that, as you'll see in the video, and I will explain how I did this later in the editing process, I placed a clip of, I'm not sure which basketball player it was, but some basketball player really twisting his ankle in a game. And then immediately after that, a video of Ido Portal jumping onto the sides of his feet. So that's when I say to prevent ankle sprains, and I show the basketball player spraining his ankle, and to bulletproof your ankles. Then I show Ido doing that crazy ankle movement. So that was the entire process of how to script it. Of course, in your case, you might want to write it down. It might help you to write it down, but as you get more experience, you can think of these things. You think of your avatar. In this case, I was giving myself sort of this fake avatar just for example purposes of someone who is prone to injury, wants to bulletproof their lower body, kind of like, you know, what Ben Patrick's avatar is. That's kind of what I was shooting for. Create content, create value that would directly help that person. So details of everything I just explained will be written down below this video, and the scripting I did, I'll write it out word for word, why I chose it, and just kind of a rough outline of the hook, body, call to action, flow of this reel. All right, so the spectrum of effort when it comes to creating reels. So what I mean by this is that there's a spectrum of how long it'll take you, how much effort it'll take to create a reel, you know, depending on what you're trying to achieve with this reel. So I'm gonna start with the lowest end and then work my way up to the highest end. So the lowest end I see as the style Nico the Motion Guy was doing for such a long time, where he sets up his camera, it's one shot, music, no text on screen, done. It's the easiest thing you could imagine. You could potentially go from just an idea to having it posted on Instagram in 2 minutes. You set up your camera, you do your pull-ups, you provide some value in the description, and you post it, right? So in the example of the ankle bulletproofing, with only one shot, you wouldn't be able to show probably 3 ankle movements just with the one shot, but say you could. You would set up the camera, you'd show some wall tib raises, you'd show some KOT calf raises, and you would show some ankle circles, no text on screen, music, that's it. no context, and then you can type in the description and that would be the post. Taking it one step further from that, you could do text on screen for that single shot. So you set up your camera once, you do your tib raises, your calf raises, your ankle circles, and you provide some value with text on screen. You say wall tib raises, full contraction at the top, KOT calf raises, progress it by going on one leg, ankle circles, works the outer ranges of the ankle. Done. Taking it one step further from that, you could do multiple camera angles. So rather than just doing all the movements from the same position, you would film your wall tib raises, go to a different location, film your calf raises, different location, film your ankle circles, and still put that text on screen, which is gonna provide value, but the different camera angles will provide sort of a visual interruption where people don't get bored of just staring at you in the same position for potentially 20, 30, 40 seconds, right? Taking it one more step further from there, this is one of my favorites, it's one of the easiest to execute. You would still do those 3 camera angles of the tib raises, calf raises, and ankle circles, but instead of just putting text on screen and music, while you're editing, you can create a voiceover. So you can speak wall tib raises, make sure to get a full contraction at the top. These are great for decelerating. Whatever you want to say, you voice it, and in most editing software, you can do auto caption. So it won't be that difficult to, instead of just be putting text on screen that's relevant to what you're seeing, you put text on screen that's actually what you're speaking, your voice, right? People love to connect with you as an actual human being rather than just an account that posts valuable content. They want to know who you are, what you know, and what sort of value you can provide. Again, taking it one more step further than that is the exact reel that I created for this little mini course, which is speaking, but it's actually on film. So the benefit of that is you can actually get a shot of you speaking to your audience, which people like. So the video opens up with me speaking for about 2 seconds, then it cuts to some B-roll, then it cuts to more B-roll, more B-roll. It's still all of me speaking, and then it cuts back to me doing the call to action, which I am talking directly to my audience. So people like to have that connection of eyes looking to eyes, mouth speaking to them, right? That's one of the higher caliber video edits you can create. And the furthest, as far as I see it, when it comes to this spectrum of effort, the furthest you can go is my favorite example. I mean, Ben Patrick does this all the time. So does Sam Brightstein, Stronger by Sam on Instagram, check him out. It's speaking while doing the movement. So instead of me just having one shot of me speaking to the camera, all of the audio, and then B-roll on top of that, I would have that intro, but then while I'm doing my tib raises, I'm looking at the camera and speaking. And then while I'm doing my calf raises, I'm looking at the camera and speaking. This I see as the highest caliber of effort for creating a reel. I would not recommend this if you are a beginner. Can you get it done? Of course. Will it take you an absurd amount of time? Probably. Will you get frustrated? Probably. So it makes more sense for you to start with a lower to middle range of effort when it comes to video, and then from there progress to more and more advanced styles. That's exactly what Sam has done. I'm sure to some degree that is also what Ben has done. His ability to create today is world class. I'm sure it was nowhere near as good 2 years ago or even 5 years ago. So that's how I view the spectrum. I will have notes below here detailing out this spectrum in some columns. And in this next video, I will be showing you exactly how I filmed everything. So I will literally be filming how I filmed for each one of the shots, why I filmed in that location, what I was looking for, and just so you can see, you know, how easy this can be. You really just need a phone. I have an iPhone 12, I believe, so it's not that new, but it's also not that old. You could easily use an iPhone 8. I believe even an iPhone 5, to be honest, had not that bad of a camera. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I did that, and hope it helps.